It's fine. It's fine. I thought I was the one who was going to be falling apart today.
No, that's going to be me when I get hit by these guys coming out of the cellar.
More specifically, I think both Dagrid and Hamus are the ones going to be falling apart. We won't be. We'll be fine because we're sat here in nice, comfy
This
rooms.
is true. Using
Right.
an inappropriate me.
So, let's.
There are those who would say that an inappropriate me is the only kind of me there ever is.
Okay. I just realised I've stuck your windows over and above the controls for Roll20. There's me going, where is the reveal? Oh, that would be under Fishy's elbow then. File that one under. Whoops. Oh no, I haven't taken the players there, have I? So not appearing in this film. He's far too big. It's not always fun when you have to remember to change controls in order to accomplish things. And if you're an idiot, you forget. No, I don't think anybody is particularly on top of their game today by the sounds of it, except possibly
no.
Knight.
Had to happen sometime.
Yep. No argument. No comments? No argument there. Oh, no comment. Let's shift you guys off over there. That should do it. Right. So, I can now shift the players across to give you absolutely no information whatsoever as to what you're looking at. But hopefully you can see Fog of War and a couple of patches of light.
Yeah.
I see a patch of light at the moment. If I zoom out further now, I can see two patches.
You can zoom out if you like, but you know, I'd rather zoom.
I will zoom back in again and look at my patch of light.
Your patch of light.
My patch of light, damn you!
There you go. Yes, your patch of light, Fishy, is the garden to the rear of the building.
So it is.
Dagwood's part of a patch of light with an invisible Matthew behind him. Cool.
An invisible, inaudible, and generally very quiet.
Inaudible
Matthew,
and quiet. That's
will
impressive.
not be doing a lot. I was using quiet in its broader sense.
Yeah.
Doing sod all.
No, I have said if he has any thoughts that or anything he'd like to chuck at me as to how he has his stuff happen. How he has his stuff happen? The hell? What he'd like his character to achieve. To let me know, but I can understand he is understandably busy. So, we have Dagrid, we have Hamus, and both of you can see things that really shouldn't have happened there. That's him. It's basically, although stairs are not drawn in, Fishy, because the map has been repurposed, sort of, and leave me alone. Basically, the left-hand side of the cellar is a flight of stairs leading up to where you are.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And apparently one of the extras from the new Mad Max movie is coming up the stairs at me.
It's actually a drunkard. So that's
So yeah, probably is then.
Yeah. And anybody else who's watching on stream may realise that I am using my time-honoured tactic of hide shit in the fog of war where the players can't see.
I won't look at the stream then.
Yeah, I do that as well.
Yeah, I use the fog of war as my cupboard.
I do that, but I also stream the players I view with the fog of war on it, so I can get away with it.
Yeah,
I was quite proud of during Crimson Skies, but I didn't need to do any of this.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we have a hint player
Yeah.
in Roll20, so you can log in as that
Yes.
and stream that instead.
To be fair, I haven't needed to with The Witcher because, let's
No,
face
I
it,
know.
you guys are combat avoidance incarnate.
Yep. That's not going to change.
Right, that is
Don't
what...
expect me to suddenly pick a fight with this guy.
So, at the end of last session, you came to deliver the message that Lara, the daughter of this house, has gone missing, probably with a male entertainer from the Privates Club. So Lara and Errol are in the wind, and Dagwood came along to do his civic duty, or rather he was going to come along and do his civic duty. Hamus popped along to check the place out.
I went to scout, yes.
Yes.
Leaving me unaware of the knowledge which Dagwood later
Yes.
obtained.
Unaware of the message imparted by Matthew, the strange naked man found in the tailor's shop.
And thus utterly.
Poor Matthew. There was a hashtag Poor Matthew, I think. The number of times it got said last time I played. Who basically is wandering around in borrowed trousers and tunic and shoes, with his dagger being about his only possession, having been brutally robbed earlier and dumped in a river. So, he mentioned that he had heard that Lara's family, specifically her mother, were wealth redistribution and import-export specialists.
Not import-export.
The general gist was that they were slightly dodgy and vaguely organised crime.
Yes.
That was it. There was no indication of what branch of organised crime.
I believe smuggling was mentioned.
Oh, was
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Import-export is your best bet, yes.
But that they, they don't crap on their own doorstep.
Yeah.
So Gallaswine has been largely crime-free.
Certainly organised crime-free. And as a result, Hamus did not realise that what he's going to scout is the de facto headquarters of a smuggling operation.
Yeah.
And Dagwood and Matthew approached in all honesty to do the civic thing and impart them information about the missing sister.
I thought they came really to
try
and warn off Hamus before he got himself into shit.
Ideally to warn off Hamus before he can start something. You've got to hope. Don't at me.
I'll at you if I want to at you.
Right.
At you, man.
At you, dude. So, the guy who was hoeing in the front garden has escorted you up to the main entrance and got jumpier and jumpier after you mentioned that you were with the watch, despite your reassurances that you weren't here on that kind of official business. And eventually yelled, "Ma!" and the door burst open to reveal another couple of fine upstanding young men.
Fine upstanding young men.
They're standing up. At the back, at pretty much the same point, Hamus has noticed the trapdoor hidden in the grass.
When you say noticed, I trod on it.
You trod on it, yes. You noticed it, therefore. Your feet detected it.
Yes. Detect normal fire's range touch. Deep cut there for Dragon Magazine readers. Drat's apparently dying. Sorry, Drat.
Sorry about that.
Right there.
Yeah, you caught me at exactly the right time. I had Coke coming out of my tear ducts.
That's impressive.
I know.
Wow. Crying Coke.
Yes.
Drug barons everywhere want you for a pet.
It's like crying Freeman, only more illegal.
More illegal than an assassin.
Try Coke and let's slip the dogs of war.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be one of those sessions, isn't it? Okay, so. Yeah, Hamus had noticed a trapdoor in the grass and realised just ahead of it being flung open that he was about to be ambushed. Yay, practice paranoia.
Yep, practice paranoia. So far not proving as useful as I could have liked.
I'm still getting my head around how it works, to be fair. And as a result, he is not where the ambusher expected him to be when the door is flung open. They were expecting you to either be on the door, in which case you'd have been flung onto your arse, or directly in front of the door, where they could basically grab your ankles. You're neither, as established. So...
Aha, that's where I put it. I've finally figured out where I put the Witcher music. I knew I'd moved it somewhere off the...
beaten track?
Off the NAS, because if I try and play it from the NAS, my network keeps giving me grief, and you get long pauses while it tries to actually...
Oh, okay. That's odd, but fair enough.
Yeah. It's because I'm running across
home plugs
and an electrical system that was probably put in place in the 1700s.
Okay. So, verbal combat, I believe, was mentioned in the week intervening for Dagwood.
Well, actually, for our nominated bargainer merchant, the one who
unfortunately
did
isn't here.
such kind of chuffing deal.
Yeah.
Which basically means that without our sudden new friend, the negotiator, Fishy, you and I are screwed.
You're not in as good a position.
I don't know. I mean, Hamus is a bit of a talker on occasion, and Dagwood, well, that's what he does for a living. Let's face it.
So, what am I looking at? Am I looking at combat, or am I looking at verbal
Dagwood is backing
combat?
away from the door. He hasn't drawn a weapon, but... No, not Dagwood, Hamus.
We're swapping characters now.
From the trapdoor. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to play Dagwood because he's more likely to live through this. He's got a better chance of running, so...
I'd be doubting that if I was you.
So,
but if I'm going to be Hamus
away
then...
from the trapdoor. He hasn't drawn a weapon yet, but he has his hand on his axe.
Stay away from that trapdoor.
And as a head appears, which presumably will happen...
It is, yes. A head does indeed appear and looks slightly annoyed.
Hold up there now, you fellas. Let's not do anything rash.
Verbal combat it is. So, initiatives then. D10 plus your reflex stat.
D10 plus reflex.
Both of us or just Fishy at the moment?
What the hell? You may as well as well.
Is initiative open-ended?
Hang on, it doesn't say. But I see no reason not to.
I see a very good reason not to. I see it right here in front of me.
Oh dear.
This die is a very good reason not to have it be open-ended. Okay, so that's an initiative of 2.
Ouch. Okay, it literally does not say that it's open-ended.
3.
So, if you would prefer, we can make a group decision now.
It's up to you, really. If it doesn't say either way.
Yeah. If rolls are open-ended, we're less likely to get ties.
If you consider that rolls in this game are generally open-ended, then it should probably be open-ended. Otherwise, how big a random element do you want to put into initiative rolls?
Yeah.
Do you want them to be strictly D10 plus reflex? Or do you want the possibility of them going higher or lower? So that 3 reflex character can potentially have a 32 initiative.
They would reduce the number of ties, but on the other hand, there are solutions to that.
We've got rules for ties, though.
We've got rules for ties. Let's just make it a straight roll.
Okay, if they're not open-ended, then I have got an initiative of 10.
Right.
I have an initiative of 13.
Okay. I can spell.
I'm not convinced.
Just remember who the GM is, Fish.
I do remember who the GM is. She's right there in front of me. I can't forget. Also right there in front of me is my 9 luck. Exclusively used on dodge rolls.
To die or not to die? That is the question.
It depends if you're rolling multiples or not. If it's more than one, then it's to dice or not to dice.
Talking of dice, as I roll the initiative for the guys at the front. Right. Pardon me.
It is noble in the game to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous NPCs.
You haven't faced any outrageous NPCs.
These guys seem to be fairly outraged. Does that count? Okay, then outraged NPCs.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
If we decide we want to go to verbal combat, and they have other ideas and want to get physical, does that then purely come down to whose reflex wins?
I think if they want to get physical, then they're going to get physical.
Yes.
I think we're getting into an Olivia neutron bomb situation, if that's what.
Okay, fine.
I will start calling for persuasion checks of fairly epic difficulty. If nothing else, you might be able to short circuit them while they're going, what? But, as it happens, 13 wins the initiative. So, we will deal with the front first, while I leave Hamus hanging for that outrageous NPCs line.
To take arms against a sea of drowners and by opposing end them.
I have a token for drowners. Just saying. Copy paste, it's a thing. You have got a cat that's attempting to climb you.
I don't know quite what he's after because he's been fed. He's just being a pain.
Just ears now. When you're running a diplomatic game. Oh shit. Okay. Right. Do you still have a note of your resolve, Dagrid?
That's a very good question. I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, it will benefit you both to work it out. Which is...
I've got 3 pages of notes from this damn game.
It's good to know there's nothing much going on.
No, but at first glance, I can't see a note of resolve.
It's the average of your will and intelligence times 5.
Okay, that's easy.
Yep.
Times 5?
Yep.
Okay.
Those are your resolve points, which are basically your health points for verbal combat.
I'm better in verbal combat than I am in actual combat, then.
Which is kind of how we built the characters, to be fair.
Excuse me. So, Reminder, a verbal combat works like a regular combat with each person using an attack and their target defending with one of the defences. However, before we open, I am going to... Actually, you're okay. It's Hamus who might have to argue this. You can open with actual verbal combat. Because they aren't actually leaping to attack. The doors have been flung open. But they've yet to attempt to brain you.
Good.
Which is a good start to any day, isn't it? You know.
Yes.
So you're
course.
outnumbered 3-2. Sorry.
And that's before the rest of the family turn up.
Yeah. You have no idea how many siblings I rolled on the...
Well, we haven't seen Ma yet, so there's at least one more to come.
Yeah, Mard actually doesn't have a token. I may end up using a drowner for her. I just realised I'm missing a little old lady token. So, your choices of attack line are empathetic, which covers seduction, persuasion, leadership, and charisma. Hello, Meki. Antagonistic, deceit, ridicule, intimidation. I would pay good money to see Dagrid attempting intimidation at this stage.
Given that I don't have...
Yeah.
So on empathy. Where's intimidation?
Intimidation is... Will.
Oh, it's on will.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, okay. So... let's just check. Each person who succeeds in defending does damage. Instead of attacking, you can use one of the verbal combat tools. Which are...
There's a verbal combat tool.
Yeah. Which are under empathetic, romance.
You can romance them.
Or study them. Studying them gives you the option of trying to probe for weaknesses in their mental armour. Romance, yeah. That ain't happening.
These are fairly manly men. I think romance might not work on this occasion.
Yes.
You can also attempt to imply.
Yep. Implication
Combat though.
is an antagonistic tool. Implying allows you to suggest something good or bad about your current argument. So it can be used as a backup to what you're actually arguing.
Given what I'm here
bribery.
for, it makes most sense to open with something charismatic and empathetic.
Okay.
Because I'm here to deliver the bad news that their sister is currently missing, presumed absconded, possibly quite some distance, but at least I know with whom.
So you want possibly the befriend. Sorry, Fish, were you saying something there?
Yeah, I was suggesting that I thought possibly appeal might be.
Yeah. Appeal comes under the leadership skill. Befriend comes under charisma.
Yeah, so befriend then.
I see. Someone's just looked at his skill list and gone, right.
Everything you call leadership.
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got that.
Which does a d6 plus your empathy damage if you manage it. So, roll your charisma, please.
So this is still charisma plus empathy, yes?
Yes.
Plus d10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
18.
Bloody hell. Well, give the poor sods a chance.
I'd rather not. There's more of them than there are of us.
Well, yeah, to be fair. They are going to get a bonus. Groups tend to move together.
Yes, I suspected that they may have some sort of
Yeah, they're going to get a bonus.
mob-handed advantage.
Yeah, mob-handed advantage. I like mob-handed advantage.
I don't. Not when it's on my side. When it's on my side, it's a great thing. When it's on the other side, less so.
Right, they are going to attempt to resist coercion. which is a D10 plus their empathy plus 2 for me. For these guys, because I'm giving a plus 1 for each brother over and above the first one. Seems fair to me. Right. Roll your damage.
Oh, okay. And that's D6 plus empathy, did you say?
It is.
10.
That's irritating. I rolled a 2.
That's not irritating at all from this side of things.
I'm willing to prove it on the webcam if needed.
Not at all.
Did you say 10 damage?
I did say 10, yes.
Okay. Oh yes, into the slightly peculiar music.
Yeah, I didn't think I queued up the wrong folder there. I've got the music inspired by.
Yeah,
Which...
that's cool. Yeah, Meki, the bald guys are the brothers of the missing waitress, who all live at their mum's house.
Who are all very thug-like criminal smuggler types. And if I put a word wrong, they can make us disappear very, very easily.
Basement.
Yeah. They don't all live in their mum's basement. However, I have just realised that one's actually on the wrong map, but I'll transfer them across in a minute. So, so you did 10 points of damage there, which is cool. So then initiative next is them arguing back. Let's see if they're smart enough to come in out of the rain. Their attack is going to be antagonistic. They're going to attempt to intimidate you.
That might actually succeed. What? How do I resist intimidation?
Right, you resist using any of the defences. You can attempt to ignore it with resist coercion, counter-argue, change the subject, or disengage.
And how do I do any of those?
Right, ignoring it and disengaging are resist coercion rolls, which is a skill.
Mm-hmm. And my other options?
Counter-arguments. Instead of taking a defensive action, you can make an attack that negates the first attack, which then makes it a straight opposed roll. Attack versus attack. Yeah.
Which is done on...
that is done on whatever argument you then choose to make. It is done as an attack in its own right.
Okay.
And changing the subject is a persuasion check.
Okay.
Which wouldn't necessarily be productive in this situation.
No.
And yeah, unless it's going to be, oh my god, a rare white-headed squirrel. I'm out of here. This might just be me handling them badly, Fish.
No, this is based on me reading them.
Oh.
I've got the PDF up.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's cheating.
As I said, I would prefer mine because I wrote them, and by definition, things
by
that
definition,
I
you're
wrote
biased.
the way I would do it.
Yeah. Okay, so
if I want to make it if I want to effectively parry riposte, do the counter attack thing, I have effectively all my attack options open to me.
They are, yes.
As a counter to this.
Yeah. Seduction,
I
persuasion.
do kind of want to point out, though, for my own pride, that I wrote the effectively verbal combat rules for Axe almost a year ago, before this game came out.
Fair enough.
So, I will counterattack.
Okay. What are you going to counter with?
Well, I don't know what they're coming at me with yet.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm purely here about their sister. Whatever means they have for intimidating me doesn't actually make any difference, because if they intimidate me and make me go away, I can't deliver the news about their sister.
Okay, they're coming at you with an intimidation roll, which is largely a get off our lawn if you know what's good for you, mate. No, I can't do London.
Get off of my land. Basically what it is, isn't it? Has he got a tractor and a shotgun?
I can leave if you like, but I then can't tell you about your sister.
So it's going to be, it's going to be intimidation versus appeal, versus befriend, I think.
Which is another charisma, isn't it?
Yep. That sounds like what you're doing.
The classic example of intimidate versus befriend, of course, is, do you spill my pipe? Let me buy you another one.
That works. Oh,
you seem like a very decent man. I hate to have to kill you.
You seem like a decent man.
You seem like a decent man. I hate to die.
Yes.
All hail the great William Goldman. R.I.P.
Indeed. So, this is opposed roles at this point, yes?
It is, yes.
Go dice. Ooh, hello.
I have a cat standing in my dice tray.
19.
Right, I've got open-ended. Right. So that's -2.
Okay, the other sort of open-ended.
Yeah.
Princess Bride reference. I do hope you've seen Princess Bride.
Yes, if you haven't seen Princess Bride, we're coming to yours in Austria, and we're bringing the DVD.
With at least one copy of the DVD.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure between them we can rustle up at least 3 copies of the DVD.
Yes. best sword fight ever committed to film, Imho.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It is brilliant.
Okay. So, you're, 19 versus their -2.
Is there a damage bonus for the difference?
Just going to check if there is actually a damage. Yeah, yours does damage. If you beat the opponent's roll, their attack is negated and yours does damage. It is literally parry riposte.
Brilliant.
Oh, for God's sake.
11.
Jesus. And of course this is hitting all of them. Simultaneously.
Spot the con man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Right. So we will leave the con man at the end of that round, having had a turn each. You know, there's a good exchange of views. They threatened to kick you off their lawn and you basically, I don't know, ended up selling them a bridge. Dangerously close to it. Right. Pages.
So you're an Eskimo. How would you like some ice? I know, very good.
Yeah, very. Right, let's get these guys off into the Fog of War, because that's not where they're supposed to be.
I've disappeared.
You have. I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not.
I don't
I tell a
exist
lie.
anymore.
I
Amos is in a
don't
weird
exist
limbo.
when you don't see me. Ah, no, don't do that. That's not what I'm doing. Go away. Roll 20 just had a minor spasm. Big Hamus.
Melatelli's beard. They seem to have accidentally changed game IPs here, and I'm in Shiogarath now. And by the way, did you know that the Iron Maiden song "Can I Play with Madness" actually does scan if you instead sing "Can I Play with Shiogarath"?
Can I play with Shiogarath? Shit.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Very tempted to rewrite the whole thing for an Elder Scrolls version now.
Yeah. Yep. Right, let's get them positioned correctly.
Technically, they're not called Eskimos, though, Mikado.
No.
They get very irate at being called
It's
Eskimos.
a very specific thing.
Yeah.
It's basically comes down to one of the first people arguments. It is the safest way to do it. So unless you're going vintage. Right. Fishy. I will move the players to the correct map. Trust you two to be having to fight the same house, different buggering map.
Different maps. There's kind of a reason why I have a habit of putting the different floors of the map onto the same graphic, so they're on the same screen, and I can just pan across.
Yeah, I'm thinking that for future reference, that's probably what I'm going to do.
It's not a bad plan.
It's not. Right, yes, so.
I would like to make an awareness check, please.
Okay, make it.
That's not very good. That is 15. What I am making the awareness check for is that Hamish needs a reason to be here.
Okay.
And the thing that sprang immediately to his mind is that he was trespassing in their back garden because he wanted to pick some flowers for a girl. His awareness check is to figure out whether there are any. Because if this is a garden full of thistles, it's not going to play.
Even a thistle flowers.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not really... You wouldn't think of it immediately as something to pick for your sweetheart.
Amos has the dodgy Scottish Irish. He can wander
So
along...
thistles is probably about right, yeah.
Oh, flowers, Scotland. Yes!
And now I have to watch the highlight.
Yes, exactly. There appears to be quite a lot of caffeine in this version of Diet not Coke.
So, with my 15 awareness,
Yep.
did I spot any flowers?
It is broad daylight. Yes, give him an odds and evens chance. Yes. You're not sure what they are, but there are some large white branching flowers which run in great clumps all the way down to the river.
Okay, so armed with this information, he will continue with his intended plan, which is obviously going to be that he will immediately attack with a deceive, taking the form of... I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was anybody in. I know I shouldn't be in your garden. I'm very sorry. I'll leave now. It's okay. Don't come out. Don't get up. It's all right. You just go back to whatever you were doing. Everybody's fine here.
Make me a deception check, please.
Okay, so my base deceit comes in at...
And then we go for the very mournful death screen music.
So that is an 18.
Right. That is a 12. Actually, no, it isn't. That's a 15. And that is skill. Get the
The
pitchforks.
question here is which defense are they using? The obvious being ignore or counter-argument.
Yes. Well, they attempted an ignore, but their resist coercion is sucky.
Yeah. Which means I get D6 plus intelligence verbal damage. Which is... What's my intelligence again? 9 points of damage.
Okay. Oh, that's their initiative, sorry. Right. So, he will get his attack in.
Yeah, which is presumably going to be intimidate
Yes.
again.
He is going to indeed try a straight intimidation check because he's quite good at that.
Right.
His will is not the greatest, but his intimidation isn't bad, thank you.
I'm going to counter-argue.
Okay.
I'm going to counter-argue and continue the deception, effectively.
Okay.
I am going to act intimidated. and beg him to please let me off. I was just looking for some flowers for a girl.
Right.
Don't hurt me.
Okay. Right. That is a 19.
You cow. 18.
Sorry. He starts to climb up out of the cellar and is all but roaring at you. You little creep, you think you can come here? You think you can come to our place? What the hell do you think you're doing, you little
I
screwbag?
just wanted some flowers.
Right, and he's doing...
So the deception attempts to pretend to be intimidated is actually really convincing because he's quite intimidated.
He's doing 11 points of damage to you.
Youch. Yeah, that hurt.
D10 plus will. Yeah. Oh! Bless you, Becky. However, he is now basically waist high up out of the stairs. And he's not a million miles off Hamos's height.
Yeah.
We're talking the whole hands like plates thing.
At this point,
Right.
if I had just gone with combat, I would probably be in a better position. Because then I could have kicked him on the top of the head and knocked him back down the stairs before he got a chance to come out.
There is that. Right.
You still could.
No, I don't. The awful thing is, in this situation, if it comes to it, Hamos will accept a beating. If the guy is just running him off and not trying to kill him, Hamos will accept it because it doesn't break his cover of trespassed in the back garden to get flowers.
Yep.
Right.
That's
so,
fair.
next round.
Did
Initiatives,
we roll
please.
initiative? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I prefer reroll initiative. That's just me.
As do I, especially when I roll the 1 on round 1.
And that's on reflex. So
It is.
17.
I'm getting better.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I didn't get a 10 initiative this time. I got an 11.
Okay.
And yes, people, I have 9 reflex.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
Fish has the same reflex as me.
God's sake, 9. So, Dagrid got 17, yeah?
Yes.
Hamos got 11. Did you?
I got 11.
Yeah. So, Dagrid.
Yes.
What are you doing, cat? Apart from getting in the way of my camber.
Back
Good night,
in
people at
the
home.
So, let's see.
brucesandflowers.com. Don't know why that needs a .com, but it really does.
I'm going to go with the persuasion this time. Logically,
Okay.
it's probably too early to. Given that my persuasion is lower and I still really need to be befriending them.
Yeah.
But I've opened with an attack trying to befriend them. I've countered their attack, continuing the befriending and the whole charisma thing. I really need to follow up now with the persuasion to get past that and say, can we now please talk? Because I'm not doing this conversation here, stood here in the garden with you guys shouting at me. Let's do this in a civilized manner, please.
Right, let's have your persuasion check, please.
15.
Right, and they are going to resist with... They're going to resist with ignoring you. They're going to attempt to ignore you. Now, why they're going to attempt to ignore you, their empathy sucks. Oh, but when you roll open-ended, it doesn't matter terribly much.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Open-ended, then a 1.
Well, yeah, that was a long, long way to go for a 17.
It still beats my 15.
Still beats your 15. Yeah, they basically start talking over you. and clearly have not taken in a word you say. Just check. Yep, and they are doing damage to you. 7 points.
Okay.
Largely what they're coming out with is a la 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 la, get out. It's the I can't hear you. La 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 la. So they will attempt. You wear quite nice clothes. You're wearing quite nice clothes at the moment, aren't you? Or are you in your crappy gear?
I'm in crappy gear.
You're in your crappy gear. Oh, in that case, they're going to go with intimidation then. This is clearly going as intended. They've lasted longer than I thought they would, Mecky. I was half thinking, well, I'm going to be getting them to roll up new characters this week. So an intimidation is coming your way. How are you resisting this? You've still not had a fight yet.
So the intimidation is still, I'm assuming, get off my land or we're going to beat the crap out of you.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Tell you what, I don't want any trouble, so if you don't want to hear anything that your sister has done or about her whereabouts, where she may be, whom she may be with, then that's fine and we'll leave. Have a nice day. Persuasion. Of the... I forget the phrase for it, but the...
Conciliatory?
The anti-psychology thing.
Ah, right, yes, okay. Yep.
You know, say the opposite and they'll start agreeing with what you actually want.
Yeah, reverse psychology.
That's the one. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, you stand there and go beep,
It's the old go
Beep.
ahead and jump.
beep, beep.
Yeah.
This psychology is reversing.
So,
Sorry,
which I'm assuming is effectively a persuasion, but it's you're kind of turning it on its... Yeah.
it is. It'll work as a persuasion check.
Cool. Eesh. That could have gone better. 14.
Beats their roll by 10. I may
Okay.
possibly have rolled low open-ended.
Does that mean I'm rolling damage again, or
Yes.
fucking hell? Okay.
But persuasion's only a d6 divided by 2 plus empathy.
Right, d6 by 2. So
And what's wrong, Mecky? That was a perfectly valid joke.
it's still d6 by 2 plus empathy, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's still 8.
Jesus. Which is exactly what you need because that hits their 30. As you finish your... Well, if you don't want to know what's going on, there's this verbal stutter and a collective look of bafflement appears on their faces. The one who was behind you...
Or a look of collective bafflement. Or a collective look of collective bafflement. I'll shut up now then.
And the guy who was behind you in the garden says, "What about Lara?" Moving back over to Fishy.
Okay.
Let's get Fishy on the screen, shall we?
So is he going for me, or did he roll really badly on initiative?
He rolled. He rolled. Hang on. There you go. Bloody murder and flowers! There's a war cry for you. They got a 10 on their initiative.
Ah, so I've got 11, so I actually go first.
You actually go first.
Right, in which case, yeah, I am going to retaliate against this intimidation that he intimidated me with.
Yep. By running around the garden with flowers.
With intimidation.
Hey.
Not one of my better skills. However, it just seems like a valid tactic.
Okay.
Having been shouted at by this guy who won't listen to my deceit about picking flowers, I'm going to shout back, basically. Look, all right, I'm leaving you, daft bastard. Why don't you just go back down your hole and leave me alone?
Make me an intimidation check, please.
He has been backing away from the trapdoor this whole time, by
Yeah.
the way. 'Cause that is his goal, is to leave at this point. That is not great. Intimidation is on will, so 13. Not great at all.
Right. So he's going to be resisting it
Could have
confusedly.
spent some points on that one.
He's
Still
going
kind of
to ignore your...
steadfastly saving my luck for if this goes horribly wrong and he attacks me, but I possibly should have spent some luck on that roll.
He's going to try and ignore your intimidation. With resist coercion.
He's probably going to succeed.
Let's give it a go. Total of 8. How the hell?
That's not 13.
No, that's bands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. These guys are more into intimidating instead of, resisting intimidation.
That's 15 damage from my intimidation.
Oof.
As an almost maximum roll.
Well, that's the equivalent of kicking him in the verbal nuts. Good lord.
He clearly wasn't expecting that.
No.
Just kind of, from a role-playing point of view, why Hamus was going for it. I know mechanically it makes no difference.
Yeah.
But from an RP point of view, that's what Hamus was going for. It was the do something unexpected. Catch him by surprise. Shout back.
Well done. Yep.
Clearly the dice agree with you.
Yes,
Okay.
clearly.
He is going to all but stagger back down a flight of one of the stair treads. Not through, oh my god, you have used the force to push him back. Just in sheer, what? This is like being intimidated by a very small, fluffy kitten.
Well, no, because this is Hamus.
Yeah,
Hamus
true.
is a bit on the skinny side, but Hamus is also over 6 feet tall
I keep forgetting he's that tall.
and actually quite fit. He is
Yeah.
a Skelliger. He's only wussy by Skelliger standards.
Yes, this is it. I keep
He's
thinking
got 5
him.
body, which is still above average.
Yeah, I keep thinking of him. He's actually got the same body as them.
Yeah. He's quite a big lad. He's wiry rather than built, but he's tall and wiry and fast.
Yeah.
And in this case, just shouted at them in a Skelliger accent.
Yeah.
And let's face it, Skelligers are quite scary.
I keep forgetting because he's wimpy for a Skelliger.
Yeah, and he is also slightly cowardly.
Yes. And indeed, High Dav.
Indeed. Yes.
So, his comeback. He's not going to attempt to seduce you.
Maybe he likes strong men.
Well, there's an image. Thanks for that. Now I need some brain bleach. I know what's going on down there. However,
Oh, Fish's face then, my word. Please, someone tell me you got a clip of Fish's face.
I would not say such a thing, but I would say that we've been live for 56 minutes, in case
anybody
anyone's
wants to
looking
find
to
it,
click.
yeah.
Right. He's actually going to come back with a charisma check. Yeah, all right, mate. Easy. And attempt a befriend.
Friend, yeah.
You have barked at him. You have barked considerably louder than he has barked.
Again, the obvious retort here the obvious response here is one that I'm not good at, but I will try it, which is change the subject.
Okay. Roll it.
It's on persuasion. I do
Yeah.
not have persuasion, so this is going to be pure empathy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 3 points of luck on it.
Okay. Luck finally gets a play.
So my luck of 9 is currently down to 6. I mean, it's not actually, if I need to roll against luck, I've still got 9 luck, but I've used 3 of
This session.
and this is going to give me 9 plus the die. So 16. And the changing of the subject is basically going to be back to where he started out in the first place.
Okay.
But he's doing it as a change of subject instead of a deceive at this point. Because the best way to deceive anyone is to tell the truth. This is a well-established fact. It's the whole thing about, if you're going to lie, always include a core of truth in your lie, so that A, it's easy to remember, and B, it's more convincing. In this case, the best way to deceive is going to be to tell the truth. He is now genuinely trying to get the flowers.
Okay.
So, look, all right, this is a huge misunderstanding. I just wanted some flowers. Can I pick a couple of flowers here before I go?
Right. Oops. One of these days I'm going to perma-link. Yeah.
That's what you get for trying to clip me, making it on.
Sorry.
The universe strikes back on my behalf. Or at least Techie does.
Yeah. Could somebody please permit Knightley? Would you mind permitting Meki? Right. So, Fish, roll it.
So, well, I rolled it, didn't I?
So, yeah, what did you get?
16. So, I was just telling you what form it took because...
Yeah, sorry, I missed the actual number.
It was 16. Yeah, the name.
Perfect.
So, I need to roll damage to change the subject, don't I?
You do, because he got a 14.
So, that's going to be 8 damage.
Right. He subsides into himself and says, "Oh Christ, what did you end? No, you changed the subject. Thank God for that." You've been clipped from different directions.
I don't know quite how to feel about that. I think that may be the first time anybody has actually clipped me, not counting the fly-through in Elite Dangerous. I'm not sure quite how I feel about the subject of that clip. And the fact that it's been done by 2 people simultaneously.
It's a clip roast. Right. So, this is why the stream is occasionally flagged mature and actually immature.
Immature,
frequently immature.
Immature stream.
Yep. The guy subsides into himself and does continue, then climbs up out of the cellar, stands there, arms folded. Look, yeah, take him and get out of here, okay?
Right.
Just,
Brilliant. In that case, I will do exactly that.
Don't bloody tell anyone, I'll let you, okay?
I will pick a few flowers. You're a true gentleman there. You're a prince among men.
Back off.
And I'm off. Yeah.
Yep.
She'll take me flowers and leave.
Okay. Are you making a
Probably
way?
Spot Dagwood out of the corner of my eye as I'm leaving. What the bloody hell's he doing here?
Right. So, meanwhile, back at.
Yeah, I'm going back the way I came, basically. So I snuck round the back and into the garden and along the river, if I remember rightly. And I will be leaving the same way.
Okay. So, back in the village, back at the front.
Again in the village, back in the village again.
Village again. Yeah.
Yep.
I am not a number. I am a PC.
What do you mean about Lara?
Well, I had cause to go to the privates club and was discussing with God, what's the guy's name? Shit, where's my notes? Which page of notes is his name on?
I love that you have loads of pages of notes. I'm sorry, I find this really flattering.
It's not Delgrim, that's the town.
Yeah.
It's Captain Elwyn,
Yeah.
who said that there had been some disappearances in his stuff. One of them was a maid named Lara.
Mm-hmm.
I have been looking into her disappearance and the others. I believe Lara may have made away with another of the disappearees, a chap named Ariel. Has she mentioned anything to you or her family about this Ariel man?
The lads at the doorway look at the guy behind you, sort of inquiringly, and he heaves a sigh. I think you'd better come in, mate. Both of you.
Just so.
At
It's
least
all right.
Wet Naked Guy isn't wet and naked at the moment.
He isn't wearing a barrel with a couple of straps on, but I have him in my head like that.
All of a sudden I've got this image of like something from Monkey Island.
Yeah. I wish I didn't, and I don't know why I do. But yes, at least he's dressed. He's not terribly well dressed, but he's dressed. And mooches along after you, looking slightly sulky. Which, to be fair, is pretty much par for the course for how he's behaved at all. So, I can reveal. Indeed, another bloke stood currently resheathing a very, very large knife at his hip, standing in the middle of the room.
Remind me of the time of day. Is it morning or afternoon?
It's afternoon.
Good
It is
afternoon.
actually mid-afternoon. Honest to God.
The most
In
common
spring?
time in RPGs.
It always is.
Mid-afternoon in spring, that's when all the action happens in all RPGs.
Yep. So, there is a very strong family resemblance between these brothers, as you may have gathered.
Bloody strong, looking at the roll 20.
Hey, you can roll it. If you just keep rolling twins,
That's true.
it can happen. Up to 8 siblings, can you imagine?
That would
Oh
be
my god, this house isn't
Octomom.
where...
Is it
Nadia Suleiman.
oh,
Octomum?
I can't remember your character's name.
Oh, God.
suddenly.
Ah! No, Axe. No, Simfant, wasn't it?
Simfant. Yeah, Linda's
Yeah.
Simfant character who has got the most convoluted family ever. Based
Oh.
on her weird die results on my version of the life path.
Yeah. It ended up, I had declared that Mummy was a life mage, and unfortunately all went a bit wrong, so we had about, I think she's got 6 twins. Mummy died in childbirth, quite reasonably.
Yeah.
None of the family like her. So,
Without contemporary medical abilities, then that could be problematic.
yes, when the life mage in the house is the one who's giving birth, kind of distracting. So, no, but my brain's now gone because it's not Hetty, is it?
No, Hetty is your ex-husband.
Yeah. Brain fry.
That's going to bug us both, isn't it?
It is. It's really going to bug us both.
Okay, I will look it up while you
Please,
carry on with
please look it up. Okay, because I could have told you until you said it.
the game. Yeah.
So you are not surrounded as in, to be marched off to your doom. But you've got a
Tacklesh.
bunch... Tacklesh, that was it. You have a bunch of very puzzled looking blokes, ranging from, you'd say, late teens up to mid-20s. Staring at you.
Okay.
The house, by the way, inside is rather nice, actually. It's not flashily furnished, but everything in it is decent quality.
Okay.
possibly more so than the building outside. You do have a wide flight of stairs leading up in the right-hand corner. You can see those quite clearly.
Yep.
And to the left and right, there are doorways. Oh, indeed, straight ahead of you, she says, realising she may as well reveal everything because it's not that you're searching the place. Oh, hello, that went wrong. It's fun when you actually accidentally grab a map and drag it.
I'm not here. I'm just going to AFK for a moment. Also, the way to avoid that is to keep the map on the GM screen, the tokens on the token layer.
You are correct.
Be on the token layer, because that way you can't select the map because it's on a different layer.
You are correct there, Fishy. You can tell it's been a while since I've run the combat in Roll20, which I do apologise. Oh, there's a Fluff. Hello, Fluff. The part of Hamus will now be played by Pippin.
That's what I was going for, but he moved.
All of a sudden, the Skelegraphic goes to meow. Meow.
Actually, I've heard him when he wants feeding. It's like he's on loop. Okay. So yeah, basically that is what you can see. Large central room, multiple sets of doors leading off, and a flight of stairs at the right-hand side.
Okay. Given that I am significantly now outnumbered,
yep.
I'll be doing my best to not look bothered by the fact that these guys could flatten me in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not here for a fight. So I'm just here to talk, and that's the aura that I want to be giving off. There is absolutely no combat. So the threat of violence doesn't bother me because it's not going to happen.
Okay, you're going for the whole Zen approach.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If Zen is a thing in The Witcher.
Your Zanshi is very zen, but you're exerting a negative pressure. Okay. So, as they're staring at you slightly baffledly, what do you mean absconded?
Run away with.
She's not run away. What makes you think she's run away?
Well, she has not been seen in, what do we know, 4 days at the Private's Club?
Well, no, she said she had holiday. You know, get ready for the wedding.
Wedding?
Yeah. Her and her fancy boy.
It would appear that she had not told her employers that she was taking holiday or getting ready for her wedding, or even that she was having a wedding. But this makes me much happier because she has not disappeared. I like this.
Hang on. Right, yeah, pretty boy's upstairs, but hang on a minute. One of them heads over to... Oh dear. One of they, I will be on the right function. I wish it was context specific. One of them heads over to what you had considered was a cupboard door. Opens it and yells down a revealed flight of stairs. Oi, Lara! What's this about you going missing? After a moment, there's a fairly shrill, "What are you talking about?" in a high-pitched female voice. Think Margate Seafront, circa 10:30 on a summer's night.
Just outside Spoons, presumably.
Just outside Spoons, yeah, indeedy. You know, the conversations 4 feet apart where they feel the need to scream them. Lava pots under the cupboard of stairs. What do you mean missing? What are you talking about? Bloke here says you absconded with your rocker boy. What? Hang on. I'm coming up. And about 4 seconds later, a rather attractive looking lady.
Not carrying the family resemblance, clearly.
No. Very much not.
Good afternoon.
Unfortunately, she opens her gob. And what comes out is clearly that yes, she is indeed
Of the family.
of the family.
We're well into. Leave it, Geralt. He ain't worth it.
Absolutely, that is exactly what we're dealing with. You know, we are talking the. Well, what do you want from the chippy? No, it's okay. I'll go in my onesie. And those who are thinking I'm being classist or insulting people, I can look out of my window. And
It happens
see
up this
living
neck of the woods as well.
examples. Yes. I've never quite understood the going to Tesco's in your jammies. That's something I've never quite
A couple of
get.
times I've gone to the corner shop and there's been someone there in their onesie and slippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't see that so much here. Where I used to live, you saw people going to the shop over the road in their onesie or whatever all the time. You don't so much see it here. I don't know whether Aldi actually have a rule for not letting them in, but I don't see it here.
Weirdly, my neighbours quite often tend to live in dressing gown and slippers all the time. It's very strange. Right, so I mean indoors, yeah, out and about. It's too cold. So yes, she has white blonde hair and the same dark eyes as what you're assuming are her brothers.
When you say white blonde hair, are we talking Geralt white hair or are we talking blonder than that?
We are talking with gold in.
Okay.
It's not the dead white.
It's not the,
silver
oh my
grey.
god, she's the Witcher.
No. Soy fish?
It's Electrum hair.
Yes. It's basically the white blonde with a hint of gold. You probably colour 3.2 if you want to. Actually, it isn't. It's 10.01. Spot the person who used to have to face up the hair dyes. Oh, good lord. Meki, that wins. Make me an awareness check, Hamus.
Awareness.
And indeed...
That's intelligence, isn't it?
It is. And indeed, I'm giving one to Matthew as well. Oh, alright. Okay.
Okay. 20.
Fair enough. Both of you then. And you can hear Matthew next to you drawing in a breath at the same time as you notice a little faster. She is wiping her hands off on a rag at the moment. Now, maybe she was chopping up beetroot or something in the cellar. But she appears to be wiping blood off her hands. Oh, no. Some people you're just going, do you own a mirror? Meki?
Did you just ask Meki if he owned a mirror?
No, you fool.
That's kind of how that came across. I know it wasn't
Kind of
meant,
personal, really, that
No,
one.
you know what I mean. You wonder if other people own a mirror. It was an example. I mean, I realise I'm the most boring dresser, but no.
Good afternoon, miss. I hope we have not interrupted you in something important.
Who are you?
Hopefully I've not interrupted you in the middle of someone important.
What do you want?
My name is Dagrid. I am doing a small piece of work for... God, I've forgotten his name again.
Elwyn, wasn't it?
Yeah. A small piece of work for Captain Elwin at the Privates Club.
Oh, yeah.
He says you were missing.
I ain't missing.
I
I told him I was going to go. I told him I was going to take some holiday. Some holiday
Listen, I
time.
know exactly where I am.
So they know exactly where you are.
Well, I assume that they know where I am. I mean, I left a message.
Where did you leave the message with?
Sorry, hang on a minute. I suddenly realised that she's looking at the wrong place. Where's it gone? Oh, I left it with my roommate.
Your roommate was who?
She had a name. I'm slightly scared about this now.
It wasn't Kate,
No.
or was it Kate?
No.
That would answer a lot of questions.
No, it wasn't Kate. It was Bethan.
Bethan.
Yeah, she cleans. That's all she ever does is clean. She likes cleaning. She's weird. No, I left him a note with her, and I said to give it to him.
By Harvey Keitel.
And I said to give it to Bella. I can't be expected to, be prepared for my nuptials and still be working there for a bit. And I'm certainly not having Errol doing anything like that. So no, we but they knew.
And did Errol tell? This would be a question for Errol, of course. But did he tell anyone? Because did you leave by the windows?
Yeah.
Well, of course we left by the windows. Who doesn't live by the windows? That's perfectly normal, isn't it? Everybody leaves by the windows.
Forgive me for asking a silly question, but why did you not use the doors?
Well, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? Look, do you really need to know? We went out the windows. There's good reason.
So, I have a question for you now, Zen. What would you like me to tell Bella and Captain Elwin? That you are taking holiday for your nuptials?
Yeah. And you can ask that silly cow Bethan why she didn't pass that note on.
Oh, I will be very, very specific to ask her that, yes.
What is your awareness? Total.
Are we talking the paranoid one, or... Are we talking practice paranoia or regular awareness?
No, we're talking regular awareness. This isn't
okay,
a trap.
that totals 11 without dice.
Yeah, this isn't a direct trap, therefore, unfortunately, practice paranoia doesn't count. 11 plus the dice. Okay. Well, wet the bed. Okay. So that's a 28.
Holy cow.
For
me or for them?
For you. It was. I'm not even going to bother. Actually, I will bother rolling for Matthew. Never mind. It was a very difficult check. It was a very, very difficult check. Because from the open cellar door, you hear what sounds like a meaty impact, followed by "Ah!"
No, Mr. Errol, I expect you to die.
And the 28 is good enough. Unless that impact was in the genital area, that ain't Errol. too high pitched. You're assuming that he isn't a falsetto. He's definitely assuming he's not a castrati if he's planning on being any good to Lara. Meki's getting paranoid now. Look, you can see I'm alright. You can tell him I'm fine. You and your weirdo can, you can go and it's all good, yeah? I mean, I could go wake up Errol if you like, but he's probably asleep because it's a busy night.
I do not think that will be necessary.
All right.
But, I'm sorry. Could I use your privy for a minute? It's been a long walk, and
Go, you're posh.
Burn it, salt it, leave.
Yeah, all right. It's upstairs.
I'll turn to the naked wet one. Would you go outside and wait? I'll be just a minute. I need to,
Fine. Timing. Bloody river there. You could do it there.
Just out of interest,
Yep.
was there any chance of me getting an awareness check to spot those two at the front door before they went in as I was leaving, or
Yes.
have I left because I've got no idea?
No, you can have an awareness check to spot that. Because there was kind of a kerfuffle.
Goody gumdrops.
Goody gumdrops.
That's a 17 on my awareness.
That will do it.
In which case, yeah, how far is it to the tree that we've got our stash in? Time-wise, how long would it take me if I hurried to get there?
If you hurried, no more than 5 minutes. It's close. You're on the right road and you're halfway there.
In that case, I'll have been hanging around watching at a distance, and when they go in, I'm going to dash back to the tree,
Okay.
retrieve my throwing daggers, dash back, watch the house again.
Okay. Right, you are led up the stairs. So you... I have put you on the right page, haven't I? Yep, and you're even in the right place. I ping.
Hey, bing, therefore I am.
I ping,
Yep,
therefore I am.
I see the
I've been
ping.
there, and you are led into that room, which is not a privy. It has one inn separated away from the rest of the room by extreme dividers and candles burning and
Don't trust
steaming,
these dirty indoor things.
and a slightly dirty large copper bath stands in pride of place in the rest of the room, with several jugs of water nearby. But the privy is at the back here, and you have the distinct impression from the draft as
It's
you
just a
sit
hole in
upon
the
the
floor.
seat that you may have worked out why the flowers are quite so well fertilised outside. There's a little gutter that you assume leads away from the back of the house, because otherwise that dumps it straight into the cellar entrance, which is counterproductive.
I shall make use of the privy.
Okay.
The main reason for requesting this was an excuse to have Matey fuck off outside.
Okay. Yep. He has done so.
So having abluted,
Uh-huh.
presumably they were waiting outside for me to escort me back downstairs.
One of the brothers has come up with you, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So as I'm leaving, so what use do you have for people who would wish to assist you in your mercantile endeavours?
Ooh. Going for the sneakiness. Right, make me a persuasion check. Because even the dippiest shit in the box knows he's not necessarily supposed to chat about this stuff with strangers.
And that goes open-ended.
He's hoping the response is not -27.
No. I would not be quite so happy about the open-ended had it gone
Okay.
out. 23.
Buggeration. Yeah, okay, that wins. Well, you'd need to talk to Ma. She does all the organising.
Of course.
But what sort of thing do you do?
Information.
Information. Don't buy information. Buy staff.
But I can tell you who the new number 2 is.
We have information.
Information could be useful to you. For instance, the movements of the watch.
Well, yeah, I mean, that'd be cheaper, certainly.
Information you could use to guide your own travel routes.
I think you need to talk to Mum. You've
When
washed
should
your
I
hands.
return?
You've
Of
washed
course.
your hands, yeah?
Yes.
Good. This upper floor, by the way, is laid out very much like a barracks. There are beds set up in rows, a total of 6 of them. There's very little privacy, but a flash bathroom and 2 sets of doors leading off this central area. I suppose I could see if Mum's up.
No need to disturb her immediately. I would be happy to return at her convenience.
Well, if she's
When
at
it is
her
easy for her.
convenience, she's not going to talk to... Oh, right, okay. I'll tell you what. You wait there and you don't touch anything, okay?
Just so.
He walks up to the double doors at the back here. And knocks. Ma? Ma? There's bloke wants to talk to you. A faint voice comes from the other side. Yeah. No, you said something about selling something? He reckons he can help us with the watch. Well, I wasn't going to kill him. Oh, okay. No, that's fine, yeah, alright. And he pushes the door open.
I shall have my hand slightly hovering near the dagger, just in
Yeah.
case.
Completely casual about the line. Totally.
Yes, it's where well, I wasn't going to kill him, or...
Yeah.
Well, no, I wasn't going to kill him. Yeah, the difference is subtle, but there. That's what I'm listening for.
Well, I wasn't gonna kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, Mum wants to talk to you.
Good.
Be polite. That's my mum.
Of course.
He opens the door and allows you access to pulling the map across again. A large and well appointed, I will reveal actually the scale of this map because it's up there, which is 1 square for 2 meters.
That's a big master bedroom.
This place is big. This whole place is quite large indeed, and has decided spontaneously to move. Thanks for that. There you go. You are escorted into... It's a bedroom only technically. It is effectively a full-on living chamber. Yeah. There are card tables dotted around between the beds. It's almost laid out like a garrison barracks. Certainly anybody attempting to gain access to the chambers would have to go through potentially half a dozen.
An army's worth of family.
Yeah. There is a large bed, a desk, and room dividers separating off what you assume is some form of dressing room. Sitting on an armchair in front of the desk is... You hesitate to use the term old lady because she's smartly, if not ostensibly dressed. And her hair is coiled away from her face in a grey bun. And the face could cut rocks.
Okay.
She has a perfectly lovely granny face until you get just above the cheekbones. And then you realise that the last time you saw anyone with that expression on their face, they were sizing up a sheep for cutlets.
Good afternoon.
Well, you're not from around here. Who are you?
No. My name is Dagwood. I have come from south.
Well, you've come from Nilfgaard, that's freaking obvious.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm a traveller, a wanderer.
Uh-huh. And you're here 'cause?
I'm here to see you because I have recently come into town and my stock in trade is lacking. There is not much doing in my line of work. I trade information, I trade stories, I trade truths, untruths, depending on who's paying for what.
You some sort of bard?
No.
Good. Can't stand bards. They sing.
Bards do it for entertainment. I make people believe what I need them to believe.
Well,
I have made the local watch believe I can work for them. I have never been one to work with that side of the law.
her eyes narrow as you say that. And then you roll initiative.
Ah, crap.
Get a verbal combat.
Verbal combat.
This is reflex, isn't it? So 12.
Yep. Yep, she just beats you this round. Right.
Remind me how luck works.
You add your luck skill on a 1 point per point base, your luck stat, sorry, on a 1 point per point basis to your die roll before you roll it.
It's a pool that can be spent, resets at the beginning of each session,
Right.
and you can spend it to add directly to the die before you roll. Really quite simple.
Yeah,
Okay.
what he said.
The difficult part is I've only got 9. Do I want to spend some on this? Might need it later.
But it does reset per session, not per scenario as we did initially think.
So, as you glance at the 925 that we've now got to, you start thinking, I can spend some luck. Should be
Yep.
soon.
And
Reset soon.
Has my resolve reset, or am I
Yes.
still at the damage that I've taken from
No,
the previous?
this is fresh, therefore it resets between.
Okie doke. That's handy.
If you have a target at your mercy and do damage to them, you take negative. Sorry, it knackers your ability to do empathetic attacks. Oh. Okay. She looks at you and attempts a ridicule check.
Ooh.
You don't look like much, and you're not local. So how well can you actually do anything involving information? Unless you're a spy for the Nilfgaards.
That is just asking for a counter riposte.
So,
Well,
18.
I convinced the watch that there were a large number of concerns in the local populace that might lead to a certain amount of unrest regarding the drowners. I said I would investigate.
Roll it.
On that footing alone, I was offered a place on the watch. And just to show my skills, I made a demonstration for the captain of the watch. He was most convinced and gave me a chit to go and get my watch uniform then and there. If I can convince the captain of the watch, I can convince anyone of anything. That's more like it.
What'd you get?
12 plus my empathy, 19.
18.
Fucking hell. That was close.
Seriously, and I said it under my breath before you told me. So that'll be on stream as evidence. I'm not being nice to you. Okay, so... Pardon me, that was a persuasion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, d6 divided by 2, plus empathy, for damage.
10.
Ouch! God,
I have a high empathy.
you're not messing around, are you? Okay. Huh. Well. It's impressive. Your go, your follow-up.
Just so. But not wanting to put all my eggs in one basket, I went up to speak to those at the Privates Club. I explained that there were concerns about the drowners, and they opened up to me that there had been some disappearances, which is how I came to be looking for Slurra. And there are also a number of other things that they started opening up to me about, because I convinced them that there were problems that the watch knew about. But the watch and the Privates Club are not the same governance. They can be played off against each other.
So, this
is something you can use.
So this is another persuasion, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to attempt to change the subject.
Ooh,
As her
okay,
defense.
I have not as good this time. Only 15.
Oh, shit.
Tell me that's gone negative. Tell me that's gone negative.
Hang on. So that's a roll of minus 15. Plus... yeah. I rolled a 10 on my open-ended negative, and they do explode.
Oh, no.
Jesus
They, of
Christ.
course, explode in both directions.
That was a slippery one.
Oh god, that was a critical cock up. Okay, so hold your damage there.
That's
her
D6 by 2 plus empathy again, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not even going to attempt. I think you've stymied her with
That's
that.
another 10.
I think she's forgotten how to talk with that roll. Jesus H, insanity. You two are just bloody dangerous. Right, okay. So she is going to attempt to rally. appeal to you?
I don't think she appeals to him.
No, that would be seduction, dear.
That's a subtly different role.
She leans forward in her chair and looks you dead in the eye. I think that could be a very useful talent you've got there. But I'm not sure how it would be useful to me. But we could potentially talk, I think. She's attempting to win you over with the strength of her personality and a leadership role, which actually is a bit good.
So, we're going to go with the befriend.
Oh, sneaky. Going for the counter-argument.
Absolutely.
So she's tried to
and we're going to
assert
take her. We're going to take her momentum and use it against her. She's
Okay.
coming on nicely.
Uh-huh.
She's already saying that she can use my abilities in some way, shape, or form, but not necessarily directly. Well, of course, the Watch have their patrols. They patrol certain areas. You would do well to know where they are. I could supply that for you. The Privates Club will no doubt have certain out-of-sight needs that could be supplied by your routes. I can facilitate that and, again, have people look the wrong way when things are travelling through. This is how information can work. This is something we can do. Something that we could work together with. Maybe not something, as you say, immediately directly for you, but something you can come to me for when you need.
Roll it.
Please be good. I'll work with fairly average.
Yeah?
16.
17.
Bollocks. I'm taking damage from that one.
You are indeed. You are taking a D10 plus her empathy.
10.
Yep.
Ouch.
Appeal, it's a nasty one. Fortunately, she rolled crap. So you are
It's
only...
the highest damage of the empathetic by quite a way.
Yeah. She's got a good leadership skill. She's the head of a smuggling operation.
Cumulative +1 damage from empathetic attacks for each time you succeeded appeal.
Yep.
My god, it comes with a dot.
It does. It does indeed. So, you only take 10 points of damage. Because I rolled badly.
If she rolls well on the next victory, she could take me out.
But, yeah, she will now have +1 to her empathetic victories.
Yeah. +1 to damage on seduce, persuade, appeal, or befriend. Yeah.
Your services could be useful, but I'm thinking that you need to be reminded as to who's in charge in town.
Of course, and this is why I come to you.
So,
You are in charge, and I am offering my services for perhaps a lesser fees than I would to others, because I respect your position, and I respect your knowledge of the area.
are we going for a befriend or are we going for a persuade here? Because this is your attack.
This is a befriend.
Okay.
Winning her over with plying her with what she already knows to be true, and what she's just told me is true.
Okay. Sorry, not laughing at you. Coming out.
21. Slight waste of the exploded 10 because it followed up with a 1, but I'm still happy with it.
Jeez, unfortunately, yeah. It's going to be... No, she's going to have to study you. It is a study. Because you're being slippery. So it's a human perception check from her.
I'm a con man by trade, of course. I'm being slippery.
What's your intelligence?
Intelligence is 6.
Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'll take that.
Roll of 2. I'm not even looking up her bloody human perception skill. Because she needs a 19 in order to do it effectively. And a 2 ain't going to do it. She does not have 17 kicking around between skill and stat. I've just seen what's in chat. Flowers for Algernon. Flowers for Dagrid. She looks you deep in the eyes, but breaks away first. Roll damage.
Nine.
Okay. Comes at you a little less certainly. And clearly tries to make herself look a little bit more like the vulnerable old lady that she is physically. I understand you're new in town, and I could be very helpful to you because I know this area, right? And I have all the contacts, and I think we could do some good work together. But obviously, you need to be reminded that this isn't Nilfgaard, okay? This isn't where you used to live. This is where we live. And if you're good, you can live here as well. And this is a befriend check. Because she's currently getting damage bonuses off empathetic.
Do you think she's ever told one of her largely knife-wielding sons, "You're only supposed to cut the bloody doors
Well,
off"?
that's what I've been going for. It's kind of a mixture of Charlie Croker and the Krays at this stage. That's what this family is. Did he just do a flying leap into your arms?
No, he was lying in my lap. I just picked him up.
Ah, it's hard to tell. You've got Fluffball.
Now he wants to leave. He's not happy.
It's because you're using him as a hot water bottle. Okay, your defence.
Okay, so we are gonna pray, my God, pray that the dice are with us, and B, that I've guesstimated where she's at about right
Bear in
from
mind
her
you can use luck.
changing. I will be this time. I'm going to go for a persuade,
Okay,
which I'm hoping is going to be the killer blow.
okay.
You have your crew. You have your contacts. But if you had contacts in the right places, you would have known that Lara was being looked for. Your boys would have known that Lara was being looked for. They did not know. I did. You can have me work for you, or you can simply let me be. I would happily work for you with that information. What do you say?
I say add your luck as you decide to use the pool.
I'm putting 2 luck in.
And roll it. Persuasion versus charisma.
Oh, fuck. So the die roll matches my luck.
No!
At least it didn't go negative.
Well, it could have gone negative.
So,
No. I'm sorry, hang on. No one's going to buy it if I don't show you.
that gives me 13.
Ow.
Oh!
Told you no one was going to believe you.
Who are you and what have you done with Drut?
No, that is a Drut roll.
What?
Drut gets the results that she wants. as a GM, she is naturally behind what you're doing here. It's the way it works. The coolest outcome here is that you win. So her dice come out shitty. It's the way it works.
But that was a genuine roll.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a genuine role. I'm
It's
saying
the
I know
fluence.
what your TK is like, and that's how it works.
My players should always feel that they have made it through by the skin of their teeth.
Absolutely. That's what being a GM is all about. It's not about beating the players. It's about letting the players think you almost did.
Yeah. So what's your total?
Total was 13.
Right. Well, I just sort out her total of -2. Plus that. So, I mean, you know, she's still up there, but you do beat her.
But it was persuasion, so it's only D6 halved.
Yeah. Plus empathy.
Plus empathy. Okay, which is 10.
You needed 7.
That my empathy alone would have done that.
Quick question, John.
Yep.
Why are you not using one of these?
I have been. In previous sessions I have. They're slightly... The little interior die is slightly difficult to read against the green baize.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But no, previous sessions I have been.
It's just I've been using it on the basis of that way if I get a 1 or a 10,
Yeah.
the second die's already rolled.
Yeah. No, I decided to... Spontaneously decided to draft in some of my other D10s for a change. But no, I have been using the double D10s for verbal combat before. And indeed for the skill checks before. It was just a whim.
Just idly wondered, that's all.
Yeah, I whimmed. I do have them out. I just whimmed. Sorry. So,
At any moment in time, the lion sleeps tonight is just a whim away.
suddenly a natural 10 comes in.
It's a good job you said that before that last key roll.
Yes, it was. Okay, so she sits back and her shoulders slightly slump. My boy should have known. Somebody should have told me. It's ridiculous if you think Lara was being looked for. I mean, why the silly cow didn't actually give the message in person? No, it has to sneak out. I mean, frankly, they could have come here. They could have come fairly openly. Well, not openly, but you know, it would have been reasonably easy. I mean, there's plenty of ways they could have come. Silly cow. I mean, they could have made that woman walk.
They could have done anything.
No, wrap her up in the blanket. It's got to be done like that. Anyway. Where can I reach you? Because I think, yeah, we could do some business.
I think perhaps a little subterfuge on contact. Is there a drop site you use for other contacts?
Yeah.
A signal lamp, perhaps?
Signal light. Yeah. This is true. Yeah. If you come past and top right window has candles burning. That means you can talk to me.
Just so. And if I have information that I think is good for you, where should I leave it where you can find it? Or where should I leave a flag that we should talk?
Talks a little blonde kid, pushes a bread barrow. Not the girl, the boy. You give him anything you want me to have, and he brings it straight along.
And what would you like told to the captain and Bella about this other girl?
What about Bethan?
Beston was supposed to give the message on Lara's behalf, but the girls that came out in the blanket, what would you like told about her?
Oh,
Kate.
it's not a girl. Not a girl. God, you're being flattering if you call her a girl. Nothing. We'll think of something to do with her.
Just so.
How to fluff an awareness check and a human perception check. Bravo. I'll see if I notice what he's doing. Not a sodding clue. That's why I'm not using these today, Fish. Double 1.
Oh.
2 skill checks.
Double 1 is good. 1 is the best possible result after the first one.
Yeah, this is true.
No, I just
1 and
decided.
10. That's what you don't want.
No, I just thought, well, I've got to roll 2 skills. I'll chuck those in as both skills. One for the inner, one for the outer.
How does that work in this game if you roll a 1 followed by a 10?
10 explodes.
Yeah, but how does it explode?
Negatively.
Right. Because in Rollmaster, it would be subtracted, then you'd roll again and add.
Yeah.
So you can go back and forth several times in Rollmaster.
Once you start going negative, it keeps going. Once you start going positive, it keeps going.
I think I prefer the Rollmaster version. It's just that wonderful drama.
Yeah. Oh, I rolled a 1. It's gone negative.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled another 1. It goes the other way now.
Yeah. No, it is a different system. There are lots of different ways things can explode. This basically, once it starts going, all you can do is hope not to get killed by the shrapnel.
Just how bad did it get at that point, yeah.
But yes, the ideal die roll is if you're going to fluff it, is a 1 followed by a 1. Because that limits the damage.
Die roll, of course, is 10 followed by a 10.
10 followed by a 10. Followed by a 10, yes. They do keep
10,
exploding.
Followed by a 10.
Right.
Then you change your name to Dave when people start throwing things at you. 36 damage on 1d6 in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay First Edition. Interestingly, nobody could see his dice at the point that this happened.
So, she waves you away. I'm tired now.
Of course. Thank you.
I'll be seeing you.
You seeing it?
Yeah. Hey, you guys started it with the prisoner talk. Okay. So you are allowed out, escorted back down the stairs by a slightly baffled looking young man who lets you out. And as you're leaving, you hear a cry from upstairs. Peter! And one of the thugger-likes turns and goes sprinting up. Matthew is standing outside, looking disgruntled and a bit worried.
Thank you for waiting. We can go now.
You've been watching the house, Hamus, and Matthew came out alone.
That's a worrying thing.
And has been standing there with his arms folded, muttering under his breath. Or possibly spellcasting. It's hard to tell.
Well,
from
we
this
don't know. I
distance.
mean, we've only just met him. That's all I know.
Yeah. And after a few more
catches
minutes...
fire suddenly, then I'll know why.
After a few minutes more, Dagwood comes out.
Not looking bruised.
No,
Or
looking
blooded.
absolutely fine and slightly smug. Smugrid.
Smuggled.
What you doing?
keeping walking, not looking back,
Mm-hmm.
and waiting till we've got cover of trees before I stop and lean up against a tree and breathe the heaviest sigh of relief ever.
Yeah. That once they're out of sight of the house, that would
Mhm.
also be about the point that Hamus will rejoin them, swapping over, reversing his jacket again back to having all the patches on the outside.
Okay. Matthew is still tagging along with you. He literally has nowhere else to go.
What the bleeding heck are you two doing here?
Oh, shit,
Initially?
yes, of course.
Trying to save your life.
I heard they were dodgy.
Didn't really need saving, but thank you for the thought.
It
Say
was...
this though. Lara's brother's a dodgy bastard.
All of them are.
Son of a bitch.
What did you find out?
They found out that Lara's brother's an aggressive son of a bitch, and that they don't like people on their land.
Which brother?
I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to find out much more after the first one came at me.
I counted 4.
Okay, well, assuming that mine wasn't in there, that's 5.
And we have much to talk about.
What did you say out there?
I don't know what you know, but those fuckers are up to something.
Oh, yes.
Duh.
Yes. Lara is there. I suspect, or at least so they say, is Errol, preparing for their nuptials. And I think that our other missing girl is also there. In the basement.
Yeah,
Being cut up.
bleeding typical. That would explain why the lad in the basement was so keen to make sure nobody came near it.
And they are known for smuggling. What else they are doing, I do not know. I do not like them. But I have negotiated a in with them in information exchange.
Sounds like they may be worth a bob or two.
I think so.
So, that gives us, what, 4 people now? Who sound like they've got enough money to be worth stealing from. We're going to need to work out our priorities.
I think so.
Right.
And the party. When is the party now? It must be coming soon. We need to get involved with the merchant to get our invites. Unless we can rely on the tailors.
Assuming that the notice in the pub was accurate, you have 2 days.
I think that's more your line than mine. I'm not really up on getting invitations to parties. Not unless the invitation's in somebody's pocket and you need it.
So that may be the faster way. 2 days is not long
that
to
one I
win.
can do, yeah.
2 days is not long to win confidence and get the invite.
Oh, I don't know. You're doing all right so far. You've been here less than that.
Oh, no, you've been here, what, 3-4 days now? 3 days,
Yeah.
I think.
Day 3, I think, yeah.
I think we're on day 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose yeah, day 3, and I've got a job with the Watch, the Privates Club, and now the
You
local
got in with the
smugglers.
local gangsters,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's basically a
You're
job a
right.
day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a tune a day, a job a day. It's sorted.
Oh god, a tune a day, that takes me back. Jesus.
I know. Torment.
Bloody hell.
How to make tunes not feel happy at all.
Yeah.
Right, so I think I will leave it there.
Okay.
That seems like a reasonable place while you plan your next move. And Matthew looks at you in abject horror.
I think my next move is going to have to be to reuse a skill that didn't work for me last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now I've got a bit more information. I'm going to want to go around town with using my streetwise skill again. And this time, I'm going to have to figure out not what crime is going on here and how much I can get away with, but who is working for Lara.
Good call. Okay, plus you have the mystery of what the hell's going on in the basement.
Nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff I want nothing to do with.
So I suppose this will be something for discussion in the OOC, conversations that happen between towns while walking.
Yeah, I think there's a better question than what is happening in the basement. What's happening in the basement is fairly obvious. Verbal combat is happening in the basement using the aggressive version and backed up by torture and torment.
Mm-hmm.
As mentioned on page whatever of the rulebook.
177.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Sidebar, isn't
I
it?
may possibly be
Torture
looking at
and
it.
torment. Sidebar page 177.
Yes.
More important, what do they want from her? It's not something she's found out, or they'd have just got rid of her. Or it's not something about them that she found out.
It would be something she knows.
So what are they after?
Give me... I know I said I was ending there, but...
Hamus knows none of this information. She wasn't one of the spies, was she? Yeah.
No, Bella's the spy.
Yeah.
However...
Bella's the spy mistress.
Let me check. Hang on, let me check back for my notes.
Okay. Otherwise, it's a role to remember.
I have a suspicious feeling.
She might well be, actually, yeah.
In
She's
which
been
case,
with Bella for 5 years.
we don't know
She would be one of Bella's
specifically
agents.
what
Yes.
they're after, but we know roughly what they're after.
Yep.
Yeah,
Kate has been working for Bella, and Bella is a spy mistress.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I needed to go back over minutes, but yeah, been with
No,
Bella for
that's fair
5
enough.
years. Kept track of the comings and goings.
We need to think carefully about who do we want to propagate here.
Yeah.
Do we throw Bella to Lara or Lara to Bella? Because one way or another we can make one of them like us at the expense of the other.
Yes. And we do now have the position to do that. And we also have the
Definitely a new
position.
Disney cartoon about samurai called Yo Jimbo.
You said you wanted to go that way.
For people who don't know, by the way, Yojimbo is the original film from which Fistful of Dollars
Yep.
was
And
it?
Last Man
Was,
Standing.
and Last Man Standing were,
Modelled.
I'm not going to say ripped off, because Yojimbo itself was actually based
Red
on a
Harvest.
Beth Hamill novel called Red Harvest, in which, in each version of it, a wanderer arrives in town and sets up two criminal groups against one another, or two groups against one another. It's two groups of samurai in Yojimbo. I can't remember whether they are actually yakuza. I don't think they are. I think they're just rival samurai groups.
Oh, they
who
are.
a bit dodgy.
It's rival
And of course,
families.
in Fistful of Dollar, it's two rival families.
Yeah,
Yeah, for capital F.
Yes.
Yep.
as it is in Last Man Standing.
Yep. So, yes, indeed. Kate, who is an agent for Bella, is currently having
Being tortured in
something
the basement.
beaten out of her in the basement of Mama Lara's house.
Yeah. The cut-up reference wasn't a sliced and diced, would you like another slice cut-up? It was my brain trying to get to the whole
No, it's
torture
okay.
at levels of bloodletting.
No, it's cool.
It was a sharp, pointy thing. Tell me what I want to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I just had a brief... Did I give that impression? Oh, crap. Didn't mean to. I'm still at the, rolled up newspaper wrapped in a wet blanket stage.
I got the impression it was a little further than that. I mean, we were
Yeah.
sort of scalpels and...
She did seem to have quite a lot of blood.
She did
Yeah.
have quite a lot of blood on her, yes. Yes, the bride-to-be did indeed come up mopping up.
She has some unusual ways of celebrating her coming nuptials. I can only say that hen parties are different in Gallaswine.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Book a stripper? No, but we got a torture victim.
Stripper off the skin. I don't know.
Yeah, skin stripper.
Yeah. Okay. So I will leave it there.
All right. Thank you very much.
I
Yeah.
really, really enjoyed that. That was fun.
This game is not going in the directions that I expected it to when we started playing. And
No,
I'm
likewise.
thoroughly enjoying the directions it is going.
Yes.
And I'm thoroughly enjoying these characters.
They're
Yeah,
good fun.
we are
Tempest
getting
and
to the point
Dagger
where
are rapidly becoming favourites.
we're getting to the point where we are going to have to make the moral path option as to which way we want to go.
There's a moral path.
Yeah, it leads both ways.
I don't think I ever heard of that.
So, we'll be back on 25th, assuming everyone's in. Hopefully we will have Robinson back by then to play
Indeed,
Matthew the
that'll be good.
Baffled.
Yes, leave us hope so. And I
Fingers
think
crossed.
this one he really is going to have to watch the VOD
He is.
because
Yeah.
quite a lot happened here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is definitely a you need to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and explain this one to him. This is not a capsule description setting.
I genuinely thought I was going to talk us into a fight that we couldn't get out of.
So did I.
Especially when I kicked Matthew out to go upstairs and try and do the
Yeah.
get them on side solo. I thought, oh, this is it. This is where I die.
I was ready.
The reason I went for my knives.
Yeah. I was ready for it to go either way. I honest to God was. I could cope with it going either way, although I wasn't sure if you would survive.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I wouldn't survive if it went south.
First page of combat, as opposed to verbal combat, don't fight groups. Literally, there, front and centre. Do not fight groups, you'll die. And you didn't. Well done. And yeah, had a
More by
ball.
luck than judgment.
Had an utter ball, and that was a very tense conversation with Mum.
It was. I've never had a roleplay series of moments that have had me quite so heart in mouth as this evening. Thank you.
I shall take that as a compliment.
I would say, I mean, the verbal combat system really helps, but
Yeah.
I would say that's harking back. That's on a par with the oh, what was it? Was it a spectator or something in Fandelver?
Yes. Yes. The Mad Spectator.
Yes.
Yes, the chap who
think-
really didn't know what was going on anymore.
That was on a par with that conversation, which could have benefited, I think, from the verbal combat system.
That would, yeah.
Although, with the verbal combat system, I probably would have lost it.
Okay, so yeah, we'll be back next week with this, and normal streaming resumes. So tomorrow is Unite, isn't it?
Tomorrow's normally my night off, but depending on how drained I am from a day at the office, I may try and sneak something a little extra in. I don't know what if I do, but yeah, something may happen tomorrow, but it's not scheduled to.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm back with my regular activities as of Tuesday.
Excellent. Okay.